have you seen anything like that?
All right, we're away. What are we? Episode 5.5, 4.5?
Yep.
Something like that. I'm angry. I'm rideable, actually.
Oh, jeez.
It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday afternoon. Paul Curtis has just been upheld for a 3-match ban. The AFL Tribunal fucking sucks. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now we talk golf. I wanted at the top of the show. I messaged you guys yesterday and said I've got something for us straight off the top. Before we do actually go any further into that, I have mentioned every week that we've been in here for you guys to be quiet when you roll in. I walked in and so for anyone who doesn't know, I get here, we pre-record on Tuesday afternoon, I come straight from work, you guys are here probably 10, 15 before me, sat down and like talking and laughing and having fun. And I hate it that I miss out on that, but also just like, that's great podcast content. Yeah. Shut up a bit.
Sorry.
That's not what I'm bringing to the table, but like really good stuff, but just save it until we press record. What I do need, I've got actually something, just a couple of things, Ron. First things first, you are still giving golf lessons, correct?
Oh, yeah. No.
You still give golf lessons?
Oh, yeah? You're that desperate?
No. Is that still something you do?
I do.
I think I've got a pitch for the program, and it's not me. It's I'd like you to watch this. So have a look at this. This was filmed on Saturday afternoon at Royal Freo.
Just to be clear as well, this is on YouTube if you want to watch visually.
Yeah, visually get on YouTube. Have a look at this, Ron and Joel. That's just gone straight into the trees on the right. Can we roll that one back? Straight into the trees. Now, next photo shows the club. This is where the club impacts the ball. Like that's at point of impact. So that right there is my brother. My older brother, Will, I've got a message from him because I played with him on Sunday and I've never seen a man more crestfallen and more devastated with himself. He rolled around Cottesloe and I reckon he had 26 points, maybe 25 points. No man puts in more effort and loves the game more. And I saw him break on the weekend. And it was so sad. And he texted me this afterwards and I said, mate, I'm obviously going to bring this up on the podcast. Sorry. And I said, I'll throw something, I'll pitch this to the boys. And I said, what if you potentially went and had a couple of lessons
you want me to sort that out?
And got a bit of help and potentially became the podcast project to see how we go. Anyway, I said, well, it's obviously not going to you pay for it and whatever, but I said, if and when it happens, you're going to need we're going to need to know why. And he said, no worries, leave it with me. I'll write you my plea letter. So this is my older brother's crying call to start the podcast. Hi, Ron. We haven't met before, but I need your help. I've spent the last 3.5 years pouring my heart and soul into the game and have gotten nowhere. In fact, I'm going backwards. With poor performance after poor performance, week in, week out, I feel like I'm at risk of falling out of love with the game. Never in my life have I invested so much for such little return. A little bit about me to give you an idea of the sort of student you'd be adopting if you undertook this project. 1, I'm currently soft capped at 13.2, have been as low as 8 in 2023, and I took the game up proper in 2021. I'm 30 years of age, 6'2", 100 kilos. I'm fit and healthy, no ailments or physical handicaps to speak of. In theory, I've got the potential to produce a much better swing than I currently do. 3, no one plays as much golf as I do. My next round elapsing on Golf Australia is from the back end of March this year. And once I played 45 days straight over a Christmas holiday. 4, I'm number 1 on our tour for strokes gained scrapping. I often find myself in the shit and have a real tenacity for willing my way to a point. Number 5, I'll do whatever it takes. Blood, sweat, tears, you name it. I can't go on like this and won't go down without a fight. Appreciate your consideration. I love the game and want to be in a position where I'm enjoying my golf and realising my full potential. Thanks in advance and hope to hear from you soon.
That's a desperate man.
This sounds exactly like when we come back from possibly Brisbane. I can't remember where we were, but we did like 7 days straight of golf. Might have been Adelaide, I can't remember. And then I rolled into the Kwinana Cup, 3 days of stroke, and I'd had enough, and I played poorly for all 3 days. Yep. Man,
You nearly quit.
Yeah, I really nearly quit. And one of my best mates, I snapped at him, and I don't ever get to there. He said something, and I took it the wrong way, and it was just because it was my mood. I'd never been so close. The voice message that I sent to the group chat, if I listen back to it, I reckon you could almost like hear tears like choking. I was not in a good way. And I feel like that's where he is.
We had a beer after the round and he was up there and he's just like, I actually hate it. Like, that's what he said. He goes, I used to be able to come to the golf course by myself and play and just love it. I'd go practice, I'd putt, I'd chip, I'd hit the balls on the range and I'd play 9 holes and absolutely love it. He goes, I couldn't think of anything. I'd rather put a gun to my head than fucking go and play by myself at the moment.
This game does that to you, doesn't it?
It's coming from a man who has been nose to the grindstone for years and has obviously gotten nowhere. So that was his play. He said, obviously, I mean, I don't know if Ron does lessons with people outside the club, but he lives 2 minutes away from the golf course.
That's like he's
is
probably
that 15 Royal Freya? Where's that?
That's 15 Royal Freya. Is it?
Yeah.
Or is it 14, mate?
That might be 14 Royal Freya.
Yeah.
The swing ain't that bad. That won't take long to fix.
So he's going away. He's going away now. He's on work. He's got 6 weeks off, which is good for him.
Okay.
So he's got a 6-week hiatus, which will mentally refresh him.
6 weeks.
Yep.
Wow.
And
well,
then
when he's back, let's go. I'm keen. That's not that bad. He's closer than he thinks. Wow. This is the problem with golf.
He'd love to hear that too. That might give him the confidence.
So you could have a perfect club path. So the club you're traveling, club path is where the club actually flows. If your face with a driver is 3 degrees open, that equals, depending on your swing speed, that equals nearly 25 metres of slice.
That's Miss Fairway.
That's how stupid this game is.
Call him right now.
So
am going
that's
to.
how crazy. And I've got people that have terrible backswings, but they can square it up at the ball. It's just infuriating, but he's not that far off. Oh, we're calling
A
him.
very good example is my mate, Koshi. One of the ugliest swings in the world.
Oh, yeah.
He's handicapped nearly lower than mine.
I hope he picks up. Because that might give. Anyway, I'll text him. If he doesn't pick up right now, I'm going to text
Left
him and
on-
say,
left
just
on
call at any point in the next 40 minutes for a nice little comp. If he hears you're not that far away,
No,
or
not at all.
he will. That might lift him because he was in as bad a spirits.
You'll fix that, mate.
That's not that bad. Like when he took it back, I was like, whoop. But and even that, it's face open, but no, he'll be fine.
If
He's
you
fine.
can get me to get out of a bunker,
Ooh,
I can get out of
you
bunkers.
can, yeah.
They're normally 45 over the green, but
He's fine.
getting out.
He'd love to hear that.
20
So-
minutes and we'll find a move and then set him on his way for a couple of games and then come back and it won't take long. It won't take long.
Okay, he'll be stoked about that. Yeah, because I've never seen a man. It was heartbreaking to see. He was just crestfallen.
It'd be like a laugh for the first 3 holes. And then
I-
after that, he's like, oh,
I
no.
was enjoying it for the full round of golf. So I got
You're that bloke.
Yeah, my team beat him
Kick him.
and his partner, and we had 3 beers after the game, a couple of bowls of chips on him, and I was enjoying every bit of it. To the point where he had one. I'm just ripping on him. He's going to be the podcast project, so I'm happy to. He was on 7 and like hit the shit. He left his woods in the car. He said, "I'm not taking these out." So I was hitting the chicken stick off every tee, and actually started to go pretty well.
Yep.
But on 7, just snap hooked it into the trees. Was like playing down the tree line, like was trying to get out, but just kept coming left, and then hit this shot. Like the best connection that he'd made all day, and it literally hit this low-hanging branch that was no bigger than the width of the ball, and just rocketed straight left, and it just picked up. And I was chortling the whole time.
So you just have those days in golf, though.
Oh, mate.
It's like it doesn't matter what you could do. You could walk off and have a half an hour break. You come back, and it's just not your day.
Not your day.
No,
but
it's not happening.
it hasn't been his year and a half.
No, that long.
He's been soft capped for about 12 months to 13 months.
But that's probably the problem with playing that much. If you're doing it the wrong way, you're going to grind that in quicker than the guy that plays once a week.
I'd love to know how often he goes and doesn't play and just plays like 9 holes and drops another ball a green side and has
So
a chip.
he used to do that very frequently. And now that it just like he's had lessons with a few different people, nothing seemed like the guy who he had a lesson with the driver last time literally got half an hour in and said, "Mate, like I can't help you.
Oh, God,
I
okay.
need to go. We need to move on." So he used to be in as like he had such a golf bug, and it was go down to the range. He'd have 100 balls. He'd do all the different practice stuff. He'd he'd play 3 balls at 9 holes at 5 in the afternoon, and like he used to do it all. And he just can't bring himself to do it anymore because he just he's fallen out of love with the game, and I hate to see it. So anyway, we'll fix him up. Hope he calls me back. It'll be pretty funny.
I've finally just come out of that. I went through a bit of a spurt there. I wasn't really happy with this. I was just happy to have a few weeks off here and there.
Yeah.
But I've played like 3 pretty good games in a row. I say pretty good. Like sort of hit my handicap.
Yeah.
Shot 10 over on the weekend, first round of club champs. Very happy with that.
All right,
In the mix. That's in the mix.
that is in the mix.
Surely I was off 9. If I shoot roughly 9 over for 4 rounds, that's going to be, because it's just four weeks of stroke. It's up there.
That has to be up there.
And
You're in B grade. Is that B grade? 9?
I don't know. I think I might be like at the very end of A.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've got no chance really.
Oh, I mean, you throw in a little like 69 and a 70 and then a 73 to finish. That'll be up there.
That'll be competitive. How does it work? Like, so he's soft capped at the moment. How do you break free from that without? Because like if you just consistently play shit, why don't Golf Australia say, hey, get this like how about we lift him up? He's off soft capped at 13. Why not let him go to 16 so that he doesn't feel like a piece of shit?
I think that what that does is stops the tanking basically.
Yeah.
You go, in 12 weeks' time, I've got club champs coming up. I'm just going to hand in net 90s.
Yeah.
It just stops that.
It does after a certain period though. Like there'll be like a probation period where they go, rightio, it starts again and he might blow out. Like he can't stay at 13 point whatever forever.
Yeah. It just seems, anyway, he's fallen out of love and we hate to see it. So
We've all been there.
Yeah,
Everyone's been
Will
there.
will be listening to this and hopefully he calls us back so we can have a little chat. But yeah, the fact that he's not that far off,
Yep.
that's big for him.
No, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
All right, moving on. You warmed up.
I warmed up. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah.
You had a warm up.
Yeah. So I wasn't gonna, but I listened to the podcast again on the Friday.
Just psyching yourself up for a bit.
So I listened to it and it was mainly because you're like, oh, all right, then don't worry about supporting the podcast or something. I was like, no, I will do that just to sort of get back at you. So I grabbed 15 balls from home. Whenever I find the balls, I take them home and give them to the young fella. He hits them around the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
But I took about 15 with me to the course and just hit like 3 or 4 pitchies, 3 or 4 eights.
Wait. He didn't buy a bucket
support
of
the
balls.
club. and get a bucket of balls?
So
You
the
just
club
took
sent out an
shit
email a little while back saying if you've got spare balls at home, bring them,
Okay,
knock them into the range, and then
I had to just You were going the same way.
Yeah,
No,
I was thinking, hang on a minute, you
Yeah,
just brought
right,
it.
yeah.
Anyway.
Not
now
only am
you're
I
actually-
supporting the club, I'm supporting the club.
You're doing more for the club. than
Exactly
anyway,
right.
continue.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Shout out. Guanana, we're all honorary members, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I hit I'd say about 15 balls, hit like only 2 drivers, nuked both of them. I was like, job's on.
Perfect,
But the
done.
drivers, the number one club, didn't have a chip, and I could tell that that's where I suffered. Not that ever I'm going to practice chip and I'm going to take that onto the course,
Yep.
but I had a triple and a double. I shot 10 over and with a triple and a double, and it was simply, I was green side, maybe 10 metres off. One had to chip over a bunker. That's obviously going to not go good.
Yeah, terrible.
And the other one, I was just in rough, so I couldn't putt out of it. So that was going to be an immediate double.
The people who, like, when you have to chip over a bunker, they just say, it's not there. What bunker? What do you fucking mean, what bunker? I'm staring at a big sand trap that I know if I go in, I'm cooked.
Yeah, I've already placed my wedge in there for the next shot.
Like, just imagine it's not there. Well, that's easier said than done, isn't it?
I remember being a kid and you'd play with like an older guy and he goes, "Oh, you kids have got no fear." And I remember thinking, like, what are you scared of? Now I know.
Yeah, I'm fucking terrified.
Now I know.
Well, it took for you when you played with Jack Post, and the way he was hitting his wedges, like chipping and just nipping 60s, like it was so good. And you were saying, because he's so new to the game, he's just living without fear.
Yeah.
I was born in the fear, so I
Batman.
yeah,
Or Bane.
Michael Caine. I didn't understand what you were talking about until you said
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It was
He
like,
hasn't been burnt by the game. And
Really
kids have
hasn't.
never been burnt by the game yet. They haven't had that blowout hole, that shank out of nowhere, that 3 in a bunker. Because it's like, when it happens once, it's in the back of your head and it just comes out every now
It's
and then.
also in the front and the side
Sides,
and
under
all,
nose,
every
yeah.
part of my head.
it's in the door of my car.
That's all I think.
Sand.
How did you go? How was the positive talk going into the round? Did you feel like you were going to have 50 points? Did you get to that or did you just warm up?
No. I stuck with the routine. I listened to Dr. Bob Rotella.
Nice.
I think it's called The Golfer's Mind. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good. And there's like one section where he just rattles off like basically like 15 cues of just being positive. It's like, I will trust my first instinct. I will, like if it's not working, I will do the right thing. It's just like little things like that. So I listened to that. It was really good. And to be honest, I feel like 10 over is really good.
That is really good. I didn't have 10 over on the weekend. I tried your technique to warm up, just grab an 8-iron and just feel good
Yeah.
with a couple of swings.
No.
And it was fucking moosing the 8-iron.
Yeah.
It was like smoking it. Felt really good.
Yeah.
Then took the hybrid off the first tee and hadn't hit it once, and it just went straight up in the air. So that wasn't great. Yeah,
the Skybrid.
yeah, wasn't great. Still parred the hole. No, I didn't have bogey. But yeah, what did I have? I had 32 points playing off 10. So it was, again, not great, but not good. Just stepping up to a tee with the driver in my hand, not knowing where it's going to go and not having any idea if it's going to draw, if it's going to stay straight, if it's going to go right, left to right, is not a nice place to be. But then I just don't put the driver away. It's my
What
fault.
driver have you got? Is that some old one that you...
Nah, QI35.
You've got that?
Got
Okay.
the upgrade. So I broke, the back of my Stealth cracked 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So I sent a message I got it at Collier Park, sent a message to them being like, hey, it's cracked. And they said, yep, you're still under warranty, bring it in.
How good is
And they just gave me a brand new one, the QI35. And I was like, oh, sweet. I'm going to crack this one in a month and get
Very good.
I'll crack this one next year and get the new one.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I just don't know where it goes off the tee. And that is terrifying. Everything else was actually working okay. I was hitting my irons all right, was hitting my wedges pretty well, was putting all right, but just
Did you chip out? Did you play safe? Did you think about it?
I didn't. That's what I should have done. I was thinking about putting the little black dot down there. Didn't do it.
I saw your story where you were like struggling at first. I was almost about to send a message to like chip out. Or I don't know if you would understand what I was talking about.
No, I wouldn't have.
No.
I was. I struggled early and then got going, but yeah, it was thinking about having that little black dot there, being like play smart, play smart, play smart. And my back nine, I did play smart. Still had 16 points front and back, but just walked away from it being like, what the fuck did I just do for 4 hours? Because there wasn't any miraculous shots. There wasn't any really shit ones. It was just steadily not great.
You played as well, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I probably had the biggest week of golf outside of going on trips. Friday night putting lesson.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
Saturday played with my old man and his group at Collier Park. Shot 1 under. Very steady. 15 green in regs. Just didn't hit it really close. Just hit like 15 foot 2-putt. It was one.
That sounds like the most boring round of golf in the world.
I tell you what, it was nice. Just fairway greens.
Heart rate just sitting at
Yeah.
the one
Yeah.
level the whole time.
Yeah.
I'd kill a man. Literally kill a man. So if I could step up to the golf course and be like, you're going to have 15 greens in reg, I would walk into the pro shop and kill the kid on.
Coward punch someone.
I'd just walk in there and be like, sorry, mate, it's not your day today. I got some news for you and it's all bad. You're dead. And I'd walk out on the course and take 15 greens in reg. Still probably have 8 free
jab,
putts.
everything. Yeah.
But yeah, the entertainment is my dad's golf. He had to buy a jug, but he had to buy a jug because he missed the ball with his putter chipper. A complete windy with his putter chipper. And I sent through a video. I don't know if it's come through.
Yeah,
Did that
Jaden's got it here.
And
we're locked in. So this
is about 2 years ago. This is a quick highlight reel of me and my dad playing, and it's sort of gotten a bit worse. This is you see that? Yep.
Love it.
Oh,
Yep,
boy,
this
yeah.
is the old watch the club drop to the ground as soon as he hits it and down.
Oh, no, hates it.
Yep. And then this is the recoil.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
The one, it's like a half in the holster. But
He's trying to like little scoop and then tug it back in. That's funny. Just
this one. Oh, that is good, man. Can you replicate
How
that?
far off the green is his first putt?
Not far, but
Yeah, okay.
the crazy part
I
is
think chunk that chip definitely.
Yeah, he did. The flop shot. He's going to kill me putting this in. The flop shot.
Yeah,
Great, can do it.
yeah.
Shot of the like. That's what if he has to go to a shot. That's
He
what
chunks
does.
the shit out of this one.
Just for
See
full
it just
shits and
limp.
gigs, man, you need to put that. Once again, if you're listening to this on Spotify,
Yeah, get on
sorry,
YouTube.
but get on YouTube because this is worth watching. The one where he wraps
Yeah.
back around, you got to put that. You have to put that in like your vocabulary after a shot. It's just like nip a
whip
little
around.
60 and
Yeah,
whip it around.
whip it into the arsenal. Pull it back in the holster.
So yeah, he's gone through the yips for a long time, but he would yip it, and when I say yip it, he'll miss it from like a hand width apart. Like that's how far it is. And
As
he'll
in the ground will connect to the
hits
the
the
ball
ball,
will connect to the ground.
miss
Or the,
the bit of ground. There either he'll hit the ball and not make it, or he'll just miss the hole completely. But then on the next hole, he'll go and grab a 4-iron and smoke it 220 down the middle. Yeah, it's just a crazy game what it does to you. But yeah, it's he'll hit a shot like that, swear, and then burst out laughing. So it's probably
That's the
a bad
way
thing
to
because I think he's done it for so long. It's just like
He's just used to it.
and I'd love for it to turn the corner, and I think he needs to go get a putting lesson like I did, just to find out what's going on.
it's a good segue back into your Friday night putting lesson. So obviously, our first ever rant that we had here, putting was your issue.
Yep.
You hated it. You changed the putter. You're into the Scotty.
Yep.
I saw it actually looked very cool. The little putting joint you went to.
Yeah, so that putting green was...
How'd you go?
So, yeah, got there about 7:30 at night, $40,000 putting green.
I thought you were going to say $40,000 lesson.
No.
Yeah,
Very
if you want to pay off.
$40,000 putting green at Putt Lab. He's in Bayswater.
Shout out Putt Lab in Baywater sponsoring the program.
David Moore. First thing, lines you up, sees what your alignment's like.
Yep.
Every single time, I'm right. No matter what I did, right of the hole, missing off stump every single time. Went to the back, grabbed this putter, and this will be news for a lot of people. You know the line on the top of your putter?
Yep.
It comes in right or left aim. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's not straight down the middle.
Some are, but then there's right and left.
As in it's aiming right off the face.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
So it's on a bit of an angle.
And then there's like a Scotty where they contradict each other. The first line's this way, the other line's that way. He gave me one that aimed left.
Oh, my goodness.
Just and a really ugly looking putter. Top line's aiming left. I couldn't tell. I've put that putter on the ground, got the laser out, straight in the middle of the hole. I was like, you're joking.
Wow.
This is why we putt so bad.
Yeah.
It's got nothing. It's the line.
I reckon my line is on meth. I reckon my line's taking methamphetamine, and one hole will be out right, and then it'll completely trip out, and it'll just be going backwards. That's what I think my putter line's
going over
doing.
this one.
My putter line is on meth. That checks out.
So yeah, that was a massive spin out. My putter's too short because he gave me a longer one, and straight away I looked different.
You are 8 foot tall, so that was
Yeah,
going
you're
to
a
be
big man.
36 inches I need, not 35. And yeah, so
1 inch is massive. Let's not get
an
it
inch
twisted.
is not bad.
An inch is
it's that big.
enormous. An
think
inch,
it's that big.
1 inch is enormous. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, so
And 3 is fucking enormous. It's just unheard of.
the
big
basically
Australian man.
Yeah, exactly. And if anyone says 4 or 5, they are lying to you. They're lying. It doesn't exist.
the end result being that the putter I needed was the putter I got rid of, Gary, to like exactly the model, the face, the line, the length.
So Gary's back in the bag?
I gave it away.
Oh,
I need
where
to
did
find
that
the
go?
bloke. I did a giveaway, and
that's
and it was
right.
like, tell me why you need Gary, and this guy gave one of the best spills I've ever heard.
So what was Gary?
Gary was a spider with the line that aimed left. It was 36 inches.
But you didn't know that the line aim left.
No. And then I never used the old pencil grip with it either too. So he said, pencil, bang, 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 all that, that's what you need. So I need to go find Gary.
Find Gary back.
I need to hunt him down.
So he had his lesson, and then yesterday we spent the whole day filming content for, and I won't, no spoilers, but you putted very well.
I started off badly, and I think that would probably be most golf lessons the day after. Not practicing, straight on the golf course. Give me a second, boys. I'm just going to tuck my elbow in a little bit more than I need.
Yeah.
So I start off
I'm
terribly.
going to close my eyes and pretend I've got Gary in my hands.
It's like, oh, here we go. Same old crap. And then eventually I get into it.
Did he try and change the grip? Or what's like with your pencil grip, is it just, do you feel better doing that? Or is there method behind the madness?
Basically, did some putts normally, did some putts with pencil, and he basically has a machine that watched big graph, either have like a big squiggly S or it's like pretty well on plane.
I've seen the details, man, like all the stuff that hooked
the
up.
Putt Lab?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it can tell what you're thinking. It's
It just depends. Like there was parts where there was like numbers and I was like, hang on, this is not computing with me. And then other people are going to love that.
Yeah.
I'm more of the guy like, I was like, Dave, just move me, put me in the spot, and then I'll hit it. And if the computer says yes, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand like this, and that's how I putt from now on. So highly recommend it. Dave knows his stuff, and that putting thing is ridiculous. A full wall of Scotty Camerons and the lab putters. He can, if you then and there, he can pull the shaft out of your putter, replace it with a new one, change the grip, lift the handle up, change it to what. It's just ridiculous, and he does that. And yeah, it's an hour and a half booking because he needs time to fix your putter if he needs to fix it.
Yeah, okay.
Unreal. Highly recommend. It's probably part of the game that people ignore, but it's the most important part.
But then equally as well, I think, and I've said it this whole time, you need to get a green reading lesson. So he does green reading lessons as well, where he goes like on course and just says like, it's breaking this much. But that's when it starts getting like, you really have to put the method into it. Explain it to me. He's like, if you really want to start taking it serious, then you do a green reading. And he's like, he said to me, I walked past him at a golf course and he said, come for a green reading lesson. I will shave 2 shots off your score every round.
Oh my goodness.
Just said straight away, 2 shots. I don't care what you're paying off.
So where did you say he was? In Bayswater?
Yeah.
I reckon we could do a podcast out of that Putt Lab.
He does
reckon
a
we
lot
could
of
do
his
one.
lessons at Lake Claremont, the par 3 course, because he got a massive green with like huge slopes and stuff. So, yeah.
We could almost do one in there. And then did you play on so you played with your old man. How'd the putting lesson go the next day? So you've gone Friday. How did you putt on Saturday?
Very well. Didn't miss anything short, but it was Collie Park is pretty slow. It was just hit it hard. Went to Mount Lawley. Did a video at Mount Lawley. Like I said, sketchy at the start.
How was that, by the way? Was it? Well, isn't it just newly renovated? Or is that not?
Yes. Yeah. So all 18 holes had been redone. Just
really nice.
I guess we can at least talk about the course. No score, but wow. Oh my goodness. Every single hole, you stood on the tee box and you went, wow, I love what they've done here. Or you're on a green and you're just looking at like pin placements and like where the slopes can be and where pins could be. And you're just thinking,
how nice is this?
It's probably one of the first times I've actually like tried to understand like what the course developers done and gone, they've nailed this. Like the bunkers, bunkers, man, the perfectly placed bunkers and just, you chop a...
You would like it because it's very sandbelty.
Nice.
Like the green that just goes right to the edge of the bunker.
Yep.
But then the long grass that covers the bunkers, they said they got to let it grow out to let it grow in because it is very long. Luckily, I didn't go
fescue, any. It just disappears.
Oh, it is. But it's very cool. It looks unreal. Luckily, I didn't get stuck in any of that, but you could tell there's some balls that go missing and that stuff. But yeah, give it a year to settle down and that's going to be the best place in WA, the best course for sure.
Do you reckon better than Karen Up?
Well, they haven't let us play, so I can't really give you
they're probably in the same echelon as Schmorf Melbourne.
I just felt yesterday, so we had the drone up and I basically spent the whole time looking through the camera, so not really like looking at the course.
Taking it all in.
But then there was a section where like as you're walking from 17 to 18, like you walked through underneath like a couple of pines and stuff, and I was really like observing it. And I just thought to myself, this is a golf course that you could play 3 times a week for the rest of your life.
Yeah. That's nice, isn't it?
Just when you know that that's the course, like 100%, I'd play there.
No boring holes.
No,
not a boring hole. I reckon
because even say like a straight par 4, the chute that you had to go through, I can't remember what hole it was. It was on the back 9, but it feels like you're trying to hit through like a cardboard, like a tiny little chute. Yeah, but then once it gets through this chute after the tee boxes, it opens up. But immediately intimidating, but it's not. It's just visually intimidating.
Well, that's intimidating enough. I have a feeling that I'd hit the cardboard box on the side and would not make it. I was thinking that the other day at Cot. Like, there's nothing better sometimes, I reckon, when you're playing golf and whether you're playing good or bad, but you just all of a sudden can stop and appreciate where you're at.
Yep.
And I was walking up 15, the par 5, and like sun was out, beautiful day, not a lot of wind.
14,
the par 5, and I was just like, how fucking good is this? Like I'm in the middle of I chipped out into the middle of the fairway. I was in the right trees, but was just walking up and I was like, this is like as nice a looking hole as there is on the course. I think it's a great looking hole, but like you just appreciate it and how it's just awesome.
There was one thing I never realised when I first started getting into golf. The father-in-law got me into it. I remember thinking, oh man, you play at the same golf course every Saturday. Yeah. I'm like, how boring. Like, go and do something else. And now I'm like, I wouldn't want to play anywhere. Like, I'm happy to play the one golf course for the rest of my life. Like, I would be. I'm happy to play other courses.
Good segue into what you were going to bring up.
Yeah. That's exceptional segue.
Funny you say that. So one thing I wanted to bring up, because I feel like in the last 3 weeks, I've played a lot of public golf courses.
Yep.
So no memberships whatsoever. You just have to book in and go and play. And I thought how happy and how proud it makes me to be a member at golf courses.
Yep.
And the benefits of
me too, but can't say, obviously.
The benefits of being a member in comparison to being just a public player. So I know, just for instance, a lot of my followers on Instagram are not members. They go and play on a Sunday or whatever.
Yep.
And I just thought if I'd never been a member, I'd still be playing 5-hour plus rounds.
Yep.
Your tee times at let's just say 11 o'clock, but you're not teeing off until 11:15 because the backup. So I thought rather than talking about the negatives, I thought I'd talk about the positives of being a member.
Yeah, okay, nice.
So the positive about being a member is probably those 2 things I touched on is just like the faster pace of play and not playing stroke every round.
Yes.
So Stableford, we spoke about how Stableford works, but when you play a public course, everyone just plays stroke. So the rounds take longer because everyone
needs to finish the hole.
Yeah.
No one's just saying, oh, well, I've picked up here.
I remember
You're in the trees for 9 and you want to see if you can get a 15 good on you.
Yeah, before being a
Pick it
member,
up.
it was like, all right, once you've had 10, then call
Yeah,
it a
10
day.
was a 10 was a day.
No one wants to put a 10 on the card.
Yeah.
But then even like your club championships, which I'm going through at the moment.
Yep.
So if you're just a public player, you don't have any of that sort of stuff. Finishing your round and like presentations, I love that. You stick around prezos, you have a bowl of chips, meal, couple of beers, and there's like everybody from the club that you play with at the same time. Just those little benefits. Like what?
Have you ever rung the bell at the club?
No.
Have you ever had to ring the bell?
No. I've seen it happen at COT. When you win, you have to ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Costs you a bloody fortune to shout everyone in the clubhouse.
Shitload.
I thought you rang the bell when someone had a hat on.
Hole in one.
Hole in one. I've seen the bell be rung, obviously, for winning a tournament when you stick around for prezos. I've seen it rung for a hole in one.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be the work phone. You're not getting picked up, whoever that is. Sorry about that. I've seen a guy ring the bell, and it was at Woodlands. I think I might have already said this, but like gave a hole in one speech. But in the speech, he said, I was playing with my partner, and he went first, and I asked him, I was like, "Oh, what'd you hit there, mate?" And he said, "An 8 iron." So I hit an 8 iron. It went in, and the pro was in the back going like,
no.
"Oh my goodness!" Like technically that's not allowed.
Yep.
that was pretty funny. But yeah, like being in the clubhouse afterwards and ringing the bell, I've never got to do, so that'd be pretty cool. Have you ever won a comp at Kwinana?
Oh, here we go.
Have I ever
I'll
won
put the
a
mic
comp?
away. Let him talk about this one.
Yep.
February 2025. I think I shot a 65 net to win the monthly mug. So most places do a monthly medal.
Yep.
At Kwinana, it's a monthly mug. So what you win a mug, it's not quite a pint, it's not quite a schooner.
A stein?
Nah, it's smaller than that. I'd say it's probably about the 480 mark, or maybe even 500. For the whole month of February, or for a whole month after you've won it,
Yep.
you in the clubhouse with your mug, you tap anybody on the shoulder, and it costs them $1 to fill it up. So that's what the monthly mug is.
With whatever you want.
With whatever you want.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's very good. The dollar is very good.
$1. But if you tap the same person twice throughout that month, you've got to buy them a beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
So
gotta remember who you're
you're
tapping.
careful about what you do. I didn't take advantage.
How does the Guinness sit in that mug?
Good.
Does it?
Very good.
Because I saw you put up a story the other day saying if anyone's actually got a Guinness glass, it'll be great.
Yeah.
But it settles well.
I wasn't able to take advantage of that because when I won that monthly mug, I celebrated like I'd just won the lottery and I didn't drink for a month afterwards. So I banned myself, mate. I was not good after.
That's devastating.
I carried on for a fair bit after that.
Does that get you up on a plaque anywhere?
Nah, it's not that special. Well,
not a-
there's 12 of them a year.
That's
you know.
true. There's not a. Are you on any of the boards up at
Which is another thing I wanted to talk about being a member. You know, like
the board events? Like
yeah,
they're great.
you don't get your name on the board for a hole in one or Eagle 2
Yeah.
or anything if you're just a social player.
Yep.
So this is another reason why being a member at a golf course is unreal.
I reckon it feels like you're in a country town. Like everyone knows everyone.
Yep.
Similar. It'd be like why people play footy. They
Yeah.
go into the clubhouse and they know everyone. That's why people get it. Like
Into
it
a
sounds
golf
like a
course,
terrible
yeah.
thing to play a golf course, but you probably don't. You're not joining for the golf course. It's probably like 80% the people at that golf course.
Yep.
You go in the door. You know you can go to any table, have a conversation.
Yep.
You play with different people. You make lifelong friends. That's why you join a club. Obviously, it costs money. I'd like to do it'd be good to see a once a week at a public compared to playing at a private, how
Yeah.
far out you are money wise, because I know it's getting bloody expensive to play just public rounds now on a weekend.
Certainly is, yeah.
Yeah, you could probably do some research.
I tried to, and I did. I just did it I know. I actually thought I'd do a bit of research on this one. So just as you figure this out, it's pretty simple. You pay, I think this is midweek walking, $55, I think, or something like that for a round of golf at Kwinana.
Yeah.
Or you can be a member for $2.50, I think it is. So I worked that out. It's like, I think it's $32 if you remember to play one round. I think my math's right. If you played one round as a member, it's roughly around 30 something dollars.
as opposed to 55.
But then the other benefits of being a member is, we were talking about yesterday, you just rock up in the afternoon and just go and play 9 holes. Like if there's no comp on.
Yeah.
You go to the chipping green and not feel like you have to buy range balls to then practice on the chipping and putting green because you've got to give something back. You can just rock up and hang out there for 5 hours. Massive. I was thinking about it on the way here. I also know that people can't afford to be members and whatnot, and I don't want to sound like I'm privileged or anything, but I feel like if you're playing once a week publicly financially, you're better off being a member.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah.
Problem now is where do you join?
There's wait lists. Like I'm fairly certain Hartfield have closed there. You know, like
crazy.
that was always a place that you feel like you could go to. They've closed off memberships. You can't beat.
Here we go.
Oh, he's on.
Oh, okay.
Yo, you got me?
Yep.
Mate, you're currently live, just listening. No, there's no visual, obviously, but you're live with Ron and Joel.
Fellas?
G'day, mate.
Hey, mate.
So we've shown the footage that Kev sent through, and we've discussed Saturday or Sunday's round, and we've read your letter.
Right.
So Ron has got some immediate feedback.
Okay.
Mate, you're not that far off. Give me 20 minutes. I reckon we'll get it sorted. Need you to do a bit of practice after that first lesson, couple of games. If I see you every 2 weeks, I reckon we'll be beating your brother in no time.
Mate, that's the most positive thing someone said to me on the golfing front in just about a lifetime. So,
I'm here for you. I'll get you sorted.
It's tough just getting beaten down from all angles. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't have a single friend in court. So this is as much a support mechanism as it is anything else.
So when are you're off tomorrow, and when are you back?
Yeah, I'm on my honeymoon for the next 5 weeks, just having a mental reset, and then I get back into it from the 6th of June.
Wait, is he off tomorrow? Did you say?
Yeah, he's off tomorrow.
Mate,
Yeah,
at 3 p.m. Can you come for 45 minutes tomorrow at 3 p.m. just to give you a little taster before you go on honeymoon?
Done, mate. Yeah, I'll see you.
All right.
I'll push back the flight. I'll call Qatar now. I'll tell them that's.
Wow. What time are you flying at? 3. I mean, just
not flying out until midnight, so that's no drama.
so 3 o'clock works.
I'm about to ruin his honeymoon.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll anyway. So you'll get a 45 minutes tomorrow. You'll sort that out, and then 6 or 5 weeks time, nose to the grindstone.
Yeah. And I assume he's listening, so good on you, Kev.
Yeah, Kev is listening. Kev's Will's mate who sent the video to me. Anyway, yeah, that's good. Anyway, all right. Well, I'll speak to you.
Good on you, boys.
See you tomorrow.
See you, mate. Bye.
Uru.
He'll be stoked with that.
Tomorrow, 3 p.m.
We can film that. That'll be.
How
pretty
do you
funny.
go when you take on like a brand new person? I guess you
Yeah.
probably cop it every week, just someone that's never.
I think I talked about it before, like having someone like that who's probably at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, he's.
They're the most likely to just go, right, I'm switched on, and it's easier to sort of sort out. Their expectations are so low, couple of good shots, and it can completely flip over the guy that's doing quite well, playing off 3, wants to get to 1, and you're like, oh, okay. And they're going to be questioning everything you say. So these are projects I like.
He's just got a dogged determination about him. So he'll be. I think he'd be a great canvas.
The problem,
He's open. He's open. He will come into your lesson tomorrow being like, I have got nothing that is working. You feel free to do what you like.
the problem is he's going to have a lesson. He's going to be first day of the honeymoon in the room. Practicing his backswing.
So,
This is going to go nuts.
When he first met Laura, they started dating, and he'd recently joined up at Raw Freo just before he met her. And I remember it. So he's an idiot, and he's done a few things. Like the first date that they had, he had a foot-long sub before they went out for dinner so that he didn't look like a fatty eating the house down. But what he also did in that first couple of months of dating, made it a mission to play golf and be at the golf course way more than he normally would.
Yeah.
And he was
standard.
he was like, oh,
That's
I'm doing
risky.
this on purpose just so that because he was like, I think she's the one, and now they're married, so it worked. But he's like, I want to set a foundation that she knows that I'm at the golf course, and it worked.
Because it can go.
It can go the other way.
Oh, mate, and my mate Tony Peps, it's gone the wrong way like that.
Yep.
I'd say half a dozen times now.
Yeah.
He's like, I feel like, he'll start dating someone, and it's like, I'm gonna play more golf. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like, I went about it the other way. I was like, I was already dating my missus, and then golf sort of come in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it was her
old man.
father-in-law.
Yeah,
so
her old man.
her dad.
Yeah, he's also the reason I drink red wine now as well, so she can't complain about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, when they first started seeing each other, he goes, if I play golf more than I normally would, then when I rein it back and play to the level I would like,
What a
she
guy.
will think I'm the best guy ever.
Yeah, until you've just blurted it out right now.
Nah, she won't listen. And she already knows that.
Okay,
she
right.
certainly already knows. Anyway, that'll be interesting tomorrow. I'm looking forward to hearing what happens.
I'd say almost like you could just put a blanket over and say, I don't think we have any female listeners.
yeah, good
No.
point. Yeah.
I had someone message me the other day being like, how's Em taking all the feedback of you just hosing her for not letting you go play golf? And I was like, well, she doesn't listen.
Yeah.
Why would she? Because she doesn't care. Oh, boy.
Very good.
So, all right, that'll be interesting. What else has been happening I've noticed, sorry, this is backtracking here. I was going to say it first off, you don't have your power band yet?
No, I've given up on the whole idea.
I got something. Look at that.
What's that?
That's
A
a
whoop.
whoop.
Does that have a magnet in it?
Nope. No, this just measures like your sleep, and they sent me one with a couple of bands, and I wore it last night. Told me I got 8.5 hours.
That was very nice.
I was
Sent
bloody
you one?
shattered. They sent me that. Yeah.
Oh, must
Just
be
said-
nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
Did you
good.
get one?
No. Whoop power the podcast, do
Were
they?
you blurting out your bloody?
Powered by Whoop.
Yeah, powered by Whoop. I like that.
I can't believe how much I actually love Whoop.
Yeah, actually, I'm not wearing mine now. I should, because they're so good. They track your sleep. They give you your energy level scores.
So it just detects everything.
It's just a perfect, wonderful product.
No magnets?
Nah.
No.
I'll have a word with them.
Yeah. Imagine that, a Whoop power band. It's got the Whoop at the top and the power at the bottom.
Mate, we'd be changing lives.
How is your neck?
Better.
Better. You're not wearing a power band.
Put a couple of crystals at the end of the bed, you know, like a
Yeah.
couple of bars of soap.
Candles.
What else have I got for us?
No, I've been stretching.
I got
Have
something.
you? Yeah,
that I've
you've
set
got-
a
right
lot
on.
of- Well, this comes from an argument, not an argument, but a heavy discussion I had about the greatest of all time in the golf circle.
Yep.
So obviously that's going to be between Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus. Or
That
Jack
checks
Nicholson as
Oh, yeah, I said Jack Nicholson, I think maybe last week or week before.
first week.
Here's
I-
Johnny.
I copped it hard.
Yeah.
Like, people like sending Photoshop versions of Jack on Phil Mickelson. Yeah, stuff up.
So yeah, got in. It was obviously an older gentleman that probably saw Jack, and I didn't. I've seen Tiger, so that
Yep.
was where you can obviously see where the argument went. But yeah, it made me want to bring it up and see just what you guys thought. You guys probably didn't see much of Tiger, would you? Were you playing golf when he was around?
I was playing golf when he was around, but my first introduction to Tiger was the scandal. So
Oh wow,
not like,
that late.
well, like, because I started playing golf really when I was like maybe 13, 14. So what was that, 2010, 2011? And then like didn't start paying heaps of attention to it. And then obviously it's like, oh shit, Tiger Woods has crashed his car and sleeping with hookers and all this sort of shit. And then all of a sudden, bang,
Yeah.
there it is. But since getting into golf, like I've watched Perfection at Pebble about 8 times. And so I've seen a lot of old Tiger footage.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it? What have you watched 8 times?
Perfection at Pebble. Have you seen that documentary?
No.
No.
Oh, have you?
That sounds like something I want to watch.
Yeah, that sounds like dramatic and
Are you
amazing.
serious?
Yeah, that sounds like, you know, a night after golf, like on the next trip, just like chuck this on.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. I'm keen,
So it's 47 and a half minutes, I think.
perfect.
And it's on YouTube, Perfection at Pebble. It is his, like, it's when he dominated the US Open, when it was like the record breaking, I'm the best golfer in the whole history of the world and no one's ever won the US Open by more than me. It is that.
Yeah.
And it is just like, it is gripping. It is so good. And you're just watching all these shots. You're interviewing the caddy. You're interviewing other people that were there watching, sports editors, people, news writers. And it's just like,
Perfect.
this guy couldn't miss. He couldn't do a thing wrong. It is so at Angus's Bucks party, we got there at night early, the 4 brothers, the 4 boys, and we just like, we're up, we had dinner, we were pissed, and we were like, fuck it, let's watch Perfection at Pebble. And we were just sitting there. It's honestly,
Glued.
if you've got it, like, you've got to spare 47 minutes, do yourself a favour. It is exceptional.
I'll
Absolutely.
watch it on the drive home.
That's your home. There it is. That's your homework for next episode. Before next week. Watch Perfection at Pebble.
What did you like? Have you got any thoughts on that?
Well,
before
same
I
as
rattle
me.
off stats.
I was just quickly having a look. So I remember one of the first full tournaments I reckon I watched was when Jordan Spieth won the Open, which is, I just looked now, is 2017.
Yeah.
So that's when I got into it. So obviously I watched when Tiger won the 2019 Masters.
That was special.
And I knew that Tiger was massive, but it's hard. I don't feel like I've got a say in the matter. I'm just going to say Tiger Woods because he's the only one I've really watched.
Yeah. Well, like I started golf in the year 2000, and that year 2000 was Tiger's biggest year. So when I was starting golf, I was sort of going, well, what's golf about? And that's what I was watching. So that's probably why I got addicted to golf very, very quickly. But
But if you look at the stats, Jack is better.
So
Well, the stats say that he's won more majors, but Tiger has beaten him in everything else. Is that what it is?
No, I don't. even
no,
know
there's
that.
like other. This is why it's hard. The only way you can really tell is if they went back in time and they played against each other. That's the only way you could actually really settle this argument. But like, okay, my first argument is when people go, "Oh, Jack's got 18, Tiger's got 15."
Yep.
I would say Brooks, prior to the Masters, Brooks had 5, Rory had only 4 majors. Is Brooks a better golfer than Rory?
No, he's not.
No. What would you say to that? Brooks Koepka's better than Rory because he's got one more major.
That's right.
Yeah, I wasn't listening. Sorry.
Let's just say, no, that's right.
I was trying to do a bit of research here.
Yeah.
Question?
Was Brooks Koepka better than Rory McIlroy before
Because
the
he had
Masters?
one more major than him.
No.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's, and then if anyone
that
says so,
argument,
then they're just lying and they need to get that checked.
Yep.
So there's that argument. Then you look at the amount.
I actually probably would have said that before Rory won the Masters because I hated Rory.
exactly.
But anyway, continue.
Yeah, you look at how many majors Jack played in. He played in 164, and
That's
then
a lot.
Tiger's played in half.
86.
86, yeah. And he's only 3 behind. So,
Yep.
I mean, the hard part is Tiger obviously going through what he's done and injured himself.
If
Otherwise,
he wasn't injured and was still and just could have rolled through, he
goes on.
He trumps. He wins, and he's won another probably 2 Masters.
He would have won 8 more if nothing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he didn't crash
so.
his car,
Yeah.
he wins another 8. There or thereabouts.
But then there's probably the biggest argument I would probably give is just the quality of the golfers that they had to play against. So you've got your, like with Jack, you had your like Gary Players, your Tom Watson, who else? Arnie, sorry, Jesus, nearly. And there's another guy called Casper. When I was reading, I didn't realize there was another bloke that was top 5 golfer. So the stat that I saw is through the PGA Tour season, through that sort of 60s, 70s, those 5 guys won like 18% of the tournaments.
Yep.
So they dominated. Go to when Tiger was playing and he had, this is where the list, you could just go forever. You could go like VJ, Ernie, Retief.
Yep.
Jesus, I can't even remember. There's so many that he had to try and compete against. And they only won 11% of the tournaments because they're obviously the caliber.
Yep. He's so big.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back to Jack. Tougher golf courses probably weren't as good.
Yep.
Manicured as well. Old equipment, old ball. The fact that he hit it so far with all that going on, that's a massive tick on Jack's point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you put them side by side in a game when they're at their prime. No one beats Tiger.
Well, I've had this
one.
so my uncle is a staunch Jack Nicklaus, and we'll just debate it to the hills.
Yep.
One of his arguments is that Tiger in his prime would just intimidate everyone.
Yeah.
And you would get to Sunday red, and people would shit themselves.
Yeah.
Like you're in the last group, you're next to Tiger Woods, he's hit the ball 330 metres, and you're like, you just wilt in front of him. And his argument was, Jack's not wilting. He's not, like, there's just no fear in that. It's like, oh, whatever, mate, I'm going to beat you.
Yeah.
And so the whole idea of like, yes, they're in their prime together. Tiger would intimidate and just knock down his competition through who he was. And his argument is that just wouldn't have happened with Jack.
That's sport, though.
And he would have rose to that. And it would have, I know that's sport. But like, that's why it's tough to compare eras.
I love seeing the old photos of him like smoking darts on the tee and that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Even like little things like that, like the guys that were amazing back then were amazing, but probably a lot of the rest of them were a lot of dad bods that weren't really that athletic. Whereas I remember playing in a pro-am, and if you came to the putting green and walked around, you would have said that half these blokes played footy.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what's going on? Like,
Tiger probably set the trend for that.
He did, yeah. He started all that. So again, you can't do it unless they played against each other. But God, like Tiger when he was good.
The stats, like you see it every now and again that Golf Digest or PGA will put out a thing saying like, here's Tiger stuff, or here's how many cuts he made in a row, or like if Scotty Scheffler stayed at world number 1 to match Tiger's streak, he'd have to stay world number 1 for the next like 12 and a half years.
That's a crazy stat.
And it's like, what in the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like, how is that even a thing?
It was crazy. It was so cool. Like you talk about YouTube golf, people watching. No one would have watched YouTube golf while Tiger was doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
He would have still dominated the whatever crappy pro-am tournament that was on.
Still can't believe you haven't seen Perfection at Pebble.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually really keen to watch that.
Yeah, I can't believe like the story about the restart and hole 14. They restarted at hole 14. Then that last hole, the water, before he's like, they had 3 balls left in the
Oh,
bag.
is that story?
That's, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I gave one to a kid. I can't go and get that back.
that
Hooked one in the
story.
water.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit, Tiger. What about a 3-iron? Give me the fucking driver.
Okay, so you put a scenario out there. Here's one I asked you yesterday, and I think it's actually a really, really good question. So I got this off Gravy. I'm pretty sure he stole off another golf podcast that done
Yeah,
better.
that's cool.
Right, so these are your 2 options. Would you rather shoot a clean 71 with 1 bird? You've shot 1 under. So a 71 clean with 1 birdie.
Yep.
Or a literal 99 but with a hole in one.
99 with a hole in one.
Oh, yeah.
No question about it. Like, just the easiest yes.
Really? I went the other way.
Really?
Yeah. Well, have you ever shot under par for one? No. Have you ever had a hole in one?
No.
Okay, so it's a pretty fair question.
That's a great question. I've gone under par for 9 holes before.
I've also shot a
No.
99. So, like, I'm taking the hole in one with that 99.
Oh, I'm absolutely taking the hole in one.
I don't care. I don't have any ambition to shoot under par at any point. If it happens, cool. A hole in one, like, if I happen to die without having a hole in one and
I'll be
playing golf
so
for the rest of
flat.
my life, like, man, I will be coming back with vengeance. Like,
Well, it's to the point where, like, I'm going to get to about 55, maybe 60, and, like, footy's not great on joints, and, like, I'll probably be at a stage where I'm not really able to play much past that. And if I haven't got a hole in one by then, it'll be tough because, like, I'll have to forsake my marriage. The kids won't get any attention. And it'll just be, I'm at the golf course every day. Join a club with a par 3 course and just go around and play it every single day.
no, it doesn't count, mate. People will say it doesn't count.
I don't care.
You have to.
It'll count with
It's
me.
ridiculous. Like, even the fact of having a hole in one, like, I feel like to have a hole in one and actually, like, claim it, like,
Yeah, it's got to
fantastic.
be. It's in a comp.
During a competition.
Yep.
On a full-size golf course.
Yep.
And the par 3, which will be anyways, has to be over, like, at least 100 metres.
So you haven't had one. You haven't had one.
I've had one.
You've had one.
I nearly had one yesterday too.
Oh my goodness. Have you not had one?
Mount Lawley.
You haven't had
Oh,
one.
yeah. You
I
did
nearly
too.
dogged one yesterday.
You really did. Nearly had one.
You haven't had one.
No, never
I'll
even
ask
been
you
close.
this. I'll ask you this hypothetical because I know my answer to it. I'd love to know your answer to it. Would you rather? All right, so it's Wednesday afternoon. You got a bit of time by yourself. You go down. You're just playing 9 holes by yourself.
Already
and you hit a hole in one.
No, not that option. No
Would you
one
re-
would believe me.
Yep, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
So that's your option. You're either you
never get
roll
one?
No, not never get one, but like you roll the dice that it happens in a round, and you've got the rest of your life to play golf. It might never happen, but it might happen. Or you tomorrow afternoon walk down to Kwinana, play 9 holes by yourself, and are guaranteed to hit a hole in one. But it's your word against. Oh, you hit a hole in one today. Who was that? No, just mate, did you?
I wouldn't even celebrate. I'd genuinely be pissed off.
So someone asked me that question about 3 years ago, and I was like, I'd claim it, obviously, and then be like, but no one's going to believe you. And I said, that's a great point.
Yeah.
And so every single time since then that I've played golf by myself, I will record my par 3 tee off.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I will show the ball, I'll show the mark, I'll show the club that I'm hitting, and I will hit the ball, and I won't stop recording. Very rarely do I have to keep recording because I know it's nowhere near the hole. It's happened to me once where I've had to pick the phone up and zoom in and ended up like 5 foot.
Yeah,
but like I will film every single time I play by myself just because if that happens, I cannot risk there being no footage.
Yeah.
You know what would be
I can't risk it.
incredible business to get into, maybe we get into it, is somehow figuring out, and I know it's very expensive, getting cameras set up on par 3s on golf courses.
Yeah.
So the West Australian Golf Club do it on the 9th hole, looking back at the clubhouse. They've got 2 cameras, one behind the tee box, one behind the green.
Always on?
Always running. It's basically like CCTV, just
Perfect.
always running.
Such a good idea.
They've had, so since they set it up in, I think, November, they've had 3 hole-in-ones on average. So I was sitting down with a GM and he showed me that on average they will have 9 hole-in-ones on that hole each year. So it's almost 1 a month. So they put the cameras up. It was sponsored by one of the members and they just have a camera rolling.
That's
and 3 times
such a
now they've
good
had
idea.
hole-in-one. It's not financially smart, but every golf course should have it. Could you imagine, man?
The good one, that shorty's in Sydney.
Yep.
They have a jackpot
Yeah.
for a hole in one on the last hole, and they've just got the camera on that hole. Very cool. You should follow it. It's very
Seb
good.
from Hackers Golf Club.
Yeah, he got
Seb had one, filmed it all. It was all on camera. I think he had the drone up, everything. It was like...
It's just like getting it on, hitting a hole in one would be great, but getting it on film, like some of the reactions when you watch hole-in-ones on YouTube. Like, do you remember the good one where he hit the hole-in-one on a par 4?
Yeah.
And, like, they were playing the 3 and, like,
It's all time, that one.
Bubby hit it close, Mikey hit the pin, and then Matt's just hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's, like, fucking
Man, that
sprinting up
dude's
the
got
hill.
some legs, eh?
He was sprinting up the hill. Like, that is the best string of golf shots, but, like, to film it and have it there and be able to go, here it is forever.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Amazing. Yeah.
Anyway, I film every single time I play a par 3. What
That's
else have we
smart.
got?
Okay, so
Before we
actually,
wrap it up.
I put up, before we wrap it up, I put up on the socials just to
I saw
shoot
this.
through some quick questions, and I've picked out a few. So, Matty O11, biggest meltdown reason on the golf course. So, what was the reason you had a meltdown on the golf course? I've got mine.
Okay, go for it.
I got hit up like 3 or 4 times. It was actually on camera. I got hit up like 3 or 4 times at Freo Public, and the last one, man, was close. And no 4 called, nothing. And I just snapped. Yeah.
You snapped at someone on the golf course.
Yeah. I had a massive rant on camera. Camera got turned off, and then I cut loose. I was not happy. Only because I know what damage can do, like of a golf ball. So, not once was 4 called. We're on a drivable par 4, and he drove the green, which is impressive, but just like...
Yeah, wait.
Anyways, that was my meltdown. You had a meltdown ever?
Not a meltdown. When I used to be the pro at Pinjarra, a couple of vandals were on the second green and grabbing a flag stick and stabbing the ground. There's another pro with me, Jason. I don't know if he's
I
listening
would
to
have
this.
just beaten the piss out of him.
Well, they were young kids on bikes, and
Tough to catch.
I was driving a golf cart, and we were getting closer and closer, and they were still doing it. And there was a golf ball in the front of the golf cart. So steering wheel, grabbed the golf ball, probably a good 30-meter peg, jumped out, threw the ball at this kid stupidly, and it's going straight at his face.
Oh.
Good.
He's grabbed his bike and he's lifted the handle up like this, and it's hit the handle of his bike and like hit his finger, and he's like,
Good.
That's a good
I hope
arm.
it broke his finger.
as soon as I let it go, I was like, jail.
Mate, you
No,
would get
not jail. Beat the piss out of him.
Well, it hit his hand, scared the shit. They ran off, stopped him from doing damage, but that's probably stupidest. I still see it in the air, and even Jason was like,
that's
mate,
perfect.
I thought you killed him. And I was like, oh,
I would've
well,
thrown
I
a
don't think they're
grenade
coming
at him.
back, or they're going to do something terrible tonight.
Or they're going to take
But nothing happened.
My biggest meltdown was at myself. Where was I? I was in Melbourne at a public course. I think it was Sandhurst, and had no luck with the driver. Had got this like an old driver of Angus's that he hadn't used anymore. It was a Titleist thing, and I was blaming the club, and literally on the 15th hole, hadn't hit a good one, hit this thing and just went, fuck's sake. And just one of those ones where like you're not throwing the club, but you smack it into the floor.
Yeah.
And I knew in the downswing that it was going too hard, and I just kept going. And I was like, fuck, it just absolutely shattered the shaft. Like, because I hit it and it just, the whole thing broke, and I was like,
drive ahead okay, though?
driver head was fine,
that's
and was able to reshaft it, but I was like, fuck, there you go, there's $400 or whatever it is for a new goddamn shaft off Marketplace. That was my biggest meltdown.
Lewis M. Kenyon, goal handicap. What is that, man? What would you like to shoot one time? 4 under, 5 under?
Yeah, like 66 sounds pretty cool.
66?
I'd love to be off a 6.
Okay.
Like, I'd love to get to a 6 handicap and be able to just like go out and have, go out to a course, and when I get to most courses, I'm having 78 today. I'd love to be able to like consistently have in the 70s.
I arrogantly
Yeah, listen to this.
Here we go.
think that if I could sort my short game out, I reckon I could genuinely get to like a 6 or a 5 in the 5s, like a 5 point something.
Yeah.
I don't think that's unachievable. Okay.
Skip over that pretty
Yeah,
quick. Okay.
moving on.
Why you not think that? If I could chip, man, honestly.
On the video we did, me and Joel played Collie Park, 10th hole, massive intervention, and actually a good learning curve, I reckon, for Jolly Ball. You will watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Hit a bad tee shot, and then straight into he hit it like 30 meters. It wasn't great. Then he's like, let's go the big high draw around the corner, make up for it.
Beautiful, smart.
Never hit a draw in his life.
It's a good
I had to
tactic.
stop him. Me and Gray were like, wait, stop. And like massive conversation about this is where a golf game can go this way or this way.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to go this way.
Yeah.
like put your ego away.
But what if it comes off?
No. He was like 280 out. It was like, this is not
you got
in
that in the kit bag?
No, he doesn't.
Yes, you do. I feel like you got it.
I did.
8-iron. This is boring, I know. 8-iron.
8-iron,
Wedge
boring.
on the green,
Yeah.
2-putt 5.
Driver
walked
off the deck,
gone.
eagle.
Nah.
Try and hit a draw with my driver off the deck. I was like, yeah.
Off a hanging line in the rough.
You could
I
have
could
done it.
hold out for eagle here.
You could,
But he sort of, I
What'd
felt
you
like,
do?
yeah.
I played smart. I hit an 8-iron over the tree, left myself about 110 in, hit wedge to about 15, 20 foot, 2-putted.
boring.
But I
Get out
know.
of par.
know. But-
Or
But
birdie.
if I didn't make bogey and I say
Oh,
I had
imagine
an
that.
8
You had like
there,
an 8.
he would have walked off.
I would have gone home.
Yeah,
man.
no,
We
that's
were at
fair.
a point where he was like, this guy's losing the plot. We've got 7 holes to go. We need to rein this
Yeah,
in.
rain him in.
This video is going to be ended real quick.
Should have taken the chance.
Okay, what's one piece of equipment you really want to add to the bag? I see this by Senior Darb. One piece of equipment that you really want to add to your golf bag, but you haven't bought. Give me anything. What are you putting in the bag? I know I really want to go something like a 5-wood or something like that.
I was about to say, I've never met anyone who owns a 7-wood that doesn't love it.
Poshy, man, big
They love
example. Loves his 7-wood.
wood.
Yeah.
It's like they hit it 160, 70, but high. So that like that,
Yeah,
just
it can
that,
come- yeah.
I can get it up. They get it out of the rough.
Yep.
Heaps of loft. Like
Adam
I recommend
Scott
most
put a
people have
7
it.
Adam Scott had a 7-wood in the bag when he played, I think, like the
Doesn't Dustin have a 9-wood? Or was that a 7?
9 wood?
Might have been a 7.
yeah.
Go with 7. No research once again.
What would I? Yeah.
What are you chucking in the bag? Could be anything. Could be like
Do you
one
have
of
a
those
hybrid?
fake golf
Yeah,
balls
I've got an old red rocket. I'll tell you actually what I want to grab, and I've seen a few videos of this being sent to me. A heap of like old, like the gun cap things. Remember them? Like the plastic not BB guns. What are they called? The fucking gun poppers or something?
Yeah, what the rings that
The
were like
rings with like little gun
powder,
powder. Yeah. Get them, tape them to your golf ball, and so that when you hit it, it fucking sounds like a gun going off. I've seen some videos.
That's what
of
you're
them.
putting in the bag.
That, well,
Right,
because
you're
I've
gonna
got all
blow
the clubs that I need. Well, I mean, if I was, I'd get a $2,000 gold Scotty Cameron.
Okay.
Oh, because my next option was going to be like an empty golf ball. I've seen them on Instagram,
Oh, yeah,
and you
the
put the
wob-
whiskey in them.
Yeah.
yeah. That was going to be my
So
other option.
you boys went down nothing that's going to
Yeah, nothing's
fix your
going to
game.
fix your game. Just yeah,
All right.
just a slab of piss.
Okay, nerd. What are you putting in the
I
bag?
just said so. I thought that was
What?
the question.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the MG4 electric buggy in my bag.
Oh yeah,
and take it out
I
on
can't
the
believe
course.
MGI sponsored this.
Yeah, I know. Neither can I. NGI
Sponsor the
bad,
questions.
Anyway.
What are you putting in the bag?
I said 7-wood.
7
Oh,
wood,
sorry.
yeah, okay.
All right, I wasn't listening. Right, this is Jimmy Bunkers, mate. He needs to be a project for you.
Yeah.
This bloke, man, he's put his heart and soul into golf.
I respect it.
Never broken 90.
He did a series where he played golf for, did something related to golf for 75 days in a row.
Chipped, hit balls, worked on his short game, putting 75 days straight, man. He tried. He's gone out to play golf, still didn't break 90. So he said, how do I break 90 so I can make my mum proud? That's actually a bit sad. Chopper.
Well, that project he did, I would have started with a lesson or a plan and then done the 75. I feel like he would have, he's just going off his own bat and done what he thinks will work. He could have redone it and had lessons or sorted out a plan and then done it. But I think even going down the line of what we did with Joel, like just hang on. I always say don't follow an error with an error. And that's what I said to him. You've just ballsed up. Don't balls up again. And then the other way was if you've just smoked a drive on a par 5 and you're 200 out, have a crack. Like you've earned the right to have a go.
I think to break 90, if I was in this guy's position, I would get rid of my driver, get rid of my hybrid, get rid of my woods, and hit 5-iron off every tee, and then 5-iron from the fairway.
Because you can still make the bogeys and the occasional odd par or double.
I'd be like, I don't
In
need
play.
Yeah.
Shoot 18 over, what's that? No,
90.
that's 90. Okay, so
you're going to make more you're going to make less doubles and more pars hitting without a driver if you're not a very good golfer.
Try and figure out how to hit more fairways and then work on your lag putting. Make sure your first putt is dead.
Oh, I need to work on lag.
Yeah, I do
my
too.
goodness.
Jeez.
This is my favourite question. So this is by Jimmy Brennan. Most beers in a round of golf.
Oh my goodness me. I have never been more pissed on a golf course than my oldest brother's bucks party. Like it got to the end of the night. So one of the jokes is like he shits himself on the golf course. When not actually physically shits himself, but like gets to a point and then just shits the bed. So like I was wearing a male diaper for his bucks party, as in like, oh, he shits himself. And like was so pissed by the end of the day that I as a joke, actually shit in the nappy, which was fucking funny. But anyway, I was at we started drinking early in the day. It was great commitment.
Wait, go back.
To the
How did
part.
you do that?
Oh, didn't take much convincing. We were it was like 11:30, and I was wearing this thing. I had been wearing it all day. 11:30 p.m. And Andrew was down. Andrew goes, "Be pretty funny if you shit in that."
Oh,
and I was like, "Oh well, I'll do it."
That's
Anyway,
a commitment
yeah,
to the bit.
it was quite funny.
Well
Anyway,
done.
so we started drinking at 7 a.m. Golf tee off was 10, so I'm already I'm pretty cut. And get to the course, and I would have loaded up 9 drinks in the front for the front 9, and would have had another 5 or 6 in the back 9. Yeah. So I think I would have had 15 beers on the golf course.
Good crack.
But was could not see and or breathe by the end of it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But the funny thing was, I was so good in the first 6 holes.
Yeah.
I'd found the point where I was pissed, but was still able to do it. And I was just no fear, fucking ripping the wedges, nipping 60s in, fucking smashing chief. Mm-hmm. Everything was humming. And then the wheels just fell off.
There is a sweet spot, hey?
Yeah.
And it's like mastering that. It's like knowing that you're at that sweet spot and just trying to maintain it, somewhat sobering up, somewhat having another beer, just keep that level. It's a very fine game.
That was stupid. I shouldn't have, that was too many beers.
You?
Oh, I couldn't tell. I had my 30th. We played 9 holes.
Oh, I thought you said the 30th beer.
No.
That's a big.
Oh, we did, but I can't remember how many. It was just one of those days. When it's your birthday too, it just seems it's there.
Exactly.
Always full.
Yep.
I actually just had a message from probably an American who wrote on one of my videos, typical Aussie thinks he can fix his golf game with beer.
Dude.
Yep.
Yeah, literally, I don't know how well.
Certainly can.
Maybe that's what Jimmy Bunkers needs to do. Just have a couple of beers.
Get pissed.
It was a competition round, and I just was not there for it.
Yep.
I had 2 pints of Guinness before teeing off.
Beautiful.
Standard.
That's your warm up.
That's the go-to. And I took a 6-pack. Six-pack?
Hey guys, 6-pack.
I took a 6-pack out with me. Finished it with 1 hole to go on the 9, and then nicked one of the other boys. So I had 7 on the front 9, and then took another 6-pack out with me on the back and had another 6-pack.
Oh, right.
So I was
full strength, mid strength. What do we?
Carlton Dries. So went from Guinness to Carlton Dries. But I remember with 5 holes to go, so I was up on the 14th tee box at par 3, and I remember standing over the ball going, and in my head thinking, I just don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I was that drunk.
Standing over the
still.
ball. Did I fucking drive you today? Or?
Yeah. Where did that go? Haven't even started my backswing. Yeah, so.
Oh, that is so funny.
I could do it with, I don't reckon I could just sit there and drink beers. I could do fireball shots.
Yeah.
I reckon I could do that for 18, but.
Have you guys done a video?
No.
That would be funny.
I don't know how well it'd be received.
Well, me and Gravy were going to do that. We were going to play 9 holes and drink 9 cans of Guinness. So 1 can per hole at Ledge. Up near
we should do it, and it's the format where a beer takes a shot off, so you can play stroke.
That's the John Daly.
Yeah. So we play stroke against each other, and every beer is a minus a shot.
Oh.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
This is where Jolie boy. I
pretty
win this. Yeah. I'll get my name already engraved in the trophy because I know I'll win this.
Me bloody whoop's going to go nuts.
Yeah, I
this.
reckon we have to do this.
100%. We tee that up. We play just 9 holes. We get silly.
Yeah,
18.
We could play it, eh?
Nah, yep.
Yeah, we could easily
we'll figure
play
out the T's and C's.
I have a buy in 3 weeks.
We have to link it up. Maybe if a golf club reaches out and he's happy to have us.
Yeah,
Mary Park, Friday afternoon.
If a golf club is happy for us to get pissed on maybe a Friday afternoon or maybe a Sunday.
Possibly, yeah.
Friday afternoon gives you a bit of time to work into the weekend, so that wouldn't be the worst idea.
Yeah.
How do you pull up?
Depends on how many. I reckon that anything 10 and under, I'm sweet. So 10 to 15 is hurting. 15 and over, I'm yeah, I've had a few. Too many.
I actually think I have a reaction to sulfur in alcohol.
And I think I have an absolute magic power of never having hangovers.
He is the opposite to me.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I'm incredible. But I also...
mate, I'm incredible.
We no hangovers. I prepare... Yeah. When I know I'm drinking, I prepare.
Bay juice? Do you have the bay juice?
Hey?
Korean pear juice?
No.
Oh, that's a game changer. I mean, no, it's not for you. You don't have hangovers. Yeah. But for you, it might be.
Well, my mate used to have 1 beer. He's a bit older than me. 1 beer and would be an absolute mess the next day. And we're you need to go to the doctors because that's ridiculous.
That's silly. Yeah.
So it was sulfur. So now
So now your excuse is you're allergic to sulfur.
Yeah.
Well,
Mate, you just can't drink.
No,
That's
I
the
can't.
issue.
the next day, I remember being about 21 at a nightclub, dancing. The only way he could drink is if he had white wine and he had this like white powder that would eliminate the sulfur out of alcohol. So you've got a 25-year-old bloke
Sprinkling
dancing,
cocaine into
putting
his white
powder into a white wine and then giving it the old swirl. with his
How did he
fingers.
not get kicked out?
That's what I said. How did the bouncer come up and be like, I'm allergic to alcohol?
Sorry.
Like, yeah, righto, mate.
Of course
You know,
off.
the more and more that goes on, and I hear this story, is this just not one of those stories where like your dad tells you it's just like, no, you can't do that, mate. But maybe your old mate was just actually into the goey, mate.
Yeah.
Crack at it.
So this actually sounds like it would be a reasonably good format for us to play. We like off the stick. I think we might.
He goes all right in golf.
Couple
Oh
of
no,
beers.
you drink all right. You just pull up crap. But yeah, I got 15 beers in me. I could be 15 under.
I need I reckon 3 is when I'm like that level, the good darts.
Because
player.
I think if like just cans, I think if we got through 18 holes, I'd be.
What are we drinking? See, that'll dictate a lot of things. Do we know any beer companies?
We certainly do. Shelter will sort us out. We could parallels, XPAs, whatever we want. We'll get
XPAs, you're just killing me. That stuff's heavy.
IPAs.
This is where
Let's get the IPAs.
that's
And
where
this is where we go into.
I've had some bad
How about we do
experiences.
this? So let's tee this up. I reckon if we had you don't have to drink. You can drink if you want.
I'll do the fireball shots.
Okay, done. Easy. Because I was
We
going
all
to say,
do fireball
I was
We
then
all
going
do
to say
fireball shots.
we could play as a scramble, but we drink heavy, and then you can just play.
This will end in. No, we had a birdie. No, boys, you had a 7.
How to drive again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's nut out the
we're going to nut
points
out
of
the
that.
logistics
That'd
of
be
this. What a great way to finish. We're going to have a ripping. This will be good.
good. Excellent. All right.
Any golf this weekend?
I'll probably get out on Sunday, I reckon.
You're playing, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm in second round of club champs.
Good luck.
But I'm a morning golfer, and I'm playing. It's weird how we do this. We don't have to, but we're going to. So me and my mate Peps, we team up for the 4-ball Ambrose.
Yep.
Not 4-ball, better ball, sorry, each year, and we qualified. So we're now going through that, and we're playing against people in like a quarter final
Yeah.
during a stroke round, during club championships.
Whoa.
I know. So we don't have to, but we've done it because we're mates with them. So I don't know. I don't really like the idea of like having 2 competitions within the one because I mainly just want to focus on the stroke round, not worrying about.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm not a huge fan of that. And we're also teeing off at like 11:40 something.
Tough time.
And I do like teeing off.
You're a
early.
morning guy.
I'm still dead keen to do the Kwinana last group experience.
Yeah. So am I.
That's what I want to do that
And imagine
first.
that just after 15 beers.
Man,
There'll be balls going
stumbling.
into the clubhouse.
Yeah, that'd be good.
like most Saturdays. Yeah, so that's my golf. You playing golf? No.
But I'm going to,
Well, you got a lesson tomorrow?
I do have a lesson, but I'm going to try and settle like half an hour every day, grab a putter, grab a chipper, have a swing. Just keep something in your hand.
Any homework? Were you having any homework?
Yeah, what was homework? I said something at the start, wasn't it? Watch Perfection at Pebble.
That's
Done.
Done.
Cool.
Right,
Easy.
see you next week.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Hooroo.